Scorpio, right? Scorpio, right? I haven't done this in so long. I had to check back on my videos. Did Libra last? Scorpio's next. And I don't know why, but I feel like, not that I need to be precious with this reading, but maybe whenever you find this, this is a really good time for you to be delicate with yourself. Yes, you are a warrior. Yes, you're the smartest person in the room. Yes, you can break hearts just by showing up and smiling. But there's also a part of you that is a delicate flower. And maybe that delicate flower, this could be metaphorical, this could be the lotus flower that is your consciousness. Or just exploring more of your feminine side. That could be for, men too. We all have feminine and masculine sides. And, the trick is finding the balance and knowing when to bring out what and when to bring out the other. And I think you've been so rah-rah, nar-nar, hardcore for, what, a couple years now? 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 years now, Scorpio. It's time to reward yourself and sing with, like, for some of you, it's being receptive. Like you had walls up. For a lot of you, you had walls up for very good reason. Hold on, let me get these out of the way here. Headphone warning. Sorry. I'll put a link in the description when I start flipping cards and when I get to it. I'm not sure yet. Let me, it's like the softer side of Scorpio. The part of you that can appreciate luxury in life, the finer things in life, quality over quantity, things that feel delicate to the touch. And if that's metaphorical and we're talking about your emotional state, it's not about being precious with yourself. It's about being very comfortable and shameless in indulging your exquisite taste for whatever time period you see this in, this week, this month, this year. Okay, let me flip some cards because I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't done this in a month, and maybe I'm dancing around doing this. Let's see. Because I feel like for some of you, you're like a cat with its hair raised on its back. Almost like you feel a threat from somewhere and you're not sure what it is. Or you're dealing with someone who you're emotionally, spiritually tied to, and they did some things they shouldn't have done, and it's catching up with them. And because you all mirrored each other in love previously or in friendship previously, you're feeling their fear. But you have nothing to fear. Okay, let me start there. Have you been working hard? Yes. Have you been cutting out all the people in your life that cause you chaos and grief for no reason? Yes. And you're about to be rewarded for that, starting with you rewarding yourself. So it's not about being like slovenly, but definitely be indulgent. If you're gonna buy yourself a thing and you have 3 choices, you're going to get the nice one. I mean, you're not going to put yourself into debt. Obviously, I'm talking to the ones that have set aside something. So you saved up for one thing that didn't pan out, and instead of like being super frugal and intellectual about it, it's kind of telling you to spend that money on yourself. Maybe it's like a spa day or vacation, really nice shoes, something like that. Or indulging in a new romance. Okay. Hmm. For some of you, you're disappointed in one love connection, but you're about to be pleasantly surprised with another. It's going to just be like honey for your soul. Just everything you needed that you never thought you could get. Oh, yeah, there's a brand new start for a lot of you here. So if you are feeling anxiety and it's not what I said, that it's a mirroring of a past love, this is just kind of a stage fright. You know you're about to step into a whole new life, and it's all good and it's all beautiful and you deserve it. But that doesn't mean that you might not feel a little anxious at first, right? So maybe that's why it wants you to indulge yourself. Be comfortable, be luxurious. Silk, satin, fresh flowers. Huh. Oh, holy cow. For some of you, if you have Libra in your chart, I think the last Libra reading I did might have a connection to this, or you are dealing with a Libra. Oh, okay. Oh. Mm. Somebody that you love switched up on you. And this is like the aftermath of that. So you're doing the best with a situation that you don't fully understand yet. Let's see, what's up with that? Recalibration, childhood. Okay. So somebody that you like, or somebody that you just broke up with, or whatever relationship has had you presenting your thorns instead of your petals, that time is passing, and it's asking you to please forgive yourself, because so much of what you thought was your fault was their bad childhood that they never dealt with, that they were projecting onto you. Move on. Change. Move on. Power. Spirit. Sea urchin in reverse. So the way that you interact with people is going to be changing. You're going to be wiser. You will have your guard up. You're not naive, but you're also not going to be like a rock, an island on your own, hermit style, with thorns poking out every which way, because you do have true love waiting for you. Really, truly, and honestly, I see that here. This is just the end of a really hard cycle. Change. There's that anxiety, but there's something that this person needed to say to you that they never said. What was it? Oh, it's that they don't want you to go. They don't want you to go. Like, oh, this person's okay. Well, I think they're giving up. I think you fought for your power. Even if it was taken away from you completely at one time, you fought for it and you got it back. Who is this person? King of Swords. But in reverse, so there was somebody that was very controlling, very manipulative. They would use their intellect to, oh, you were always kept in the dark. They never told you the whole story. You never really knew what they were up to. It was always a scheme. It was always a plan. They always had to get the last word, and they wanted you in control. This could have been a family member. Like, this could have been a toxic grandfather, a toxic uncle, a toxic boss that you have finally decided to break free from, or just a marriage that was completely... Oh no, hold on just a second. I think... not the moon. Okay. So you were dealing with someone that did not know how to tell the truth. I don't know if y'all have ever met those people that just, they don't even have to lie. It's like, what were you doing yesterday? And they're like, I was drinking orange Fanta out by the sea. And it's like, no, they were drinking root beer up by the mountain, but they just, there's something in them that comes from this place of pain that's so deep inside of them that they don't even really know how to address it yet. So they switched up on you, like ghosted you overnight almost. Maybe this is someone that you were interested in. And if it's not that, it's a family member that suddenly went cold on you. Or it's like it's my way or the highway. Is it my way or the highway with this person? Breathe in reverse. God. It's like they're a child but grown up. You know, like the little child that will throw a tantrum and hold their breath and say, I'm going to hold my breath until I get my way, kicking and screaming on the ground, and they're turning green and they're killing themselves and giving themselves brain damage. And meanwhile, you're like, wow, this is so unnecessary. So either that's someone that you're dealing with or you're about to be done dealing with because you're moving on. Sea Star, regeneration, that's what you're working on. You're working on releasing the guilt and the shame associated with this other person's bad decisions. And for some of you, if it's a father, an uncle, a grandfather, an ex, a brother, or this could be a girl in that it's black or white, it's my way or the highway. I expect you to listen to me, but I will never listen to you. Kind of an archaic sort of way to live. It was not just putting a damper on your spirit, but it was almost like a spiritual vampirism. There is an ancient wisdom that you have. That it's like if you've awoken to the matrix, how I guess people are explaining it right now on the internet. If you are intent on living in the truth and not delusions or illusions or indulging others' illusions or delusions, right? You see the manna for what it is. You see it's going to want to suppress you, to attack you. Plato's cave, right? You try to point out the delusion to someone else to help them. You try and drag them out of the cave, and they're going to try and kill you, right? That's how old is that story? So whoever you were dealing with was intent on staying in the cave. And at one point or another, you were intent on staying there with them to help guide them. And at one point, you would have even thrown them on your back to carry them out. But, they start beating you over the head as you do it. You have to get right with God, and that means not being a martyr where it's not good for either of you to do that. If you feel like this was someone in your family that went through something so traumatic, like if this was a father and you know that he was in a war and that is why he's so stern or so cruel or so fill in the blank, you're not going to be making excuses for that person anymore. They can't dwell where you need to dwell. You can't stay in the cave. And right now, their eyes can't handle the light. And if this is metaphorical and the light is the wisdom that you're trying to share with this person, and all they do is try to hurt you or disgrace your name or make you feel small or rely on tradition in the face of a changing world, a changing economy, or a changing relationship. This person would keep you there if they could. You understand? But you are already victorious over it. So at this point in the game, it's all about this new start. Move on. You've done everything you could to heal that situation, and your higher power, whatever that means to you, is not asking you to take this on anymore. They're asking you to take on healing for yourself, to move on to a fresh, green spring, new life, new you, new love, new everything, new way of communicating, new way of putting down your walls so that the right one can come in. It's like that vampire movie, Let the Right One In. For some of you, you let the wrong one in because it was sensual or exciting, or it just turned out to be vampiric. It's like for some of you, it was almost this spiritual thing, and maybe it ended up being more like like an incubus, succubus, a person who was secretly practicing black magic or something. Maybe that is what the moon was, where they were part of something and they were never going to be honest about it. It was a secret society or a fraternity or sorority, something like that, and it was extremely toxic. It was going down a dark path, and that is going to explain a lot of what you couldn't quite put your finger on. A conversation that was going in circles that, they didn't really change their story, but you knew it wasn't the whole truth. It's like everything will be revealed in time. And this person knows what they did. And they know that you deserve an apology, but they're not willing to give it to you right now. Why? Why do you have to move on instead of holding your breath for an apology from this father, uncle, grandfather, boss, ex-husband, whatever? Why won't they ever? Why? Like, they already know you're moving on. They've accepted it. They know they were wrong. So why can't they admit it? Okay. They're kind of weak and they're kind of cowardly. Like, they just don't want to hear it because of all the bad karma they're receiving for screwing you over, lying on you, trying to keep you bound to them in ways that you didn't agree to, or trying to keep, you chained to them in the cave, proverbially. It's like they feel like they can't be successful on their path without subjugating their mate. Why? Or their family, or their children. Why? Gosh. They don't trust anyone. They've never trusted you because they can't trust anyone because they're so wounded. Somehow they're so wounded that it was never you and them. And you're like, oh, well, they were really convincing in playing that role and making me think that it was that. If it was a family, it was one of those fathers who has children literally just to put them to work or to suck them dry or worse. Okay, so if this is you, you're walking away from that family and trying to heal it. That person in the family is, they're still a cave dweller. Their eyes can't handle the light. And it might just be you trying to go one last time and say, I know you can see what I'm trying to say. You just don't want to hear it. And if you're thinking it's because they're afraid, it is. It is. Eight of Pentacles, Chariot in reverse, Ten of Swords. I feel like this person lives like in a perpetual state of dissociation, but because they felt weak in their life, they started to mess with black magic, you could say, energy manipulation, to try and keep you bound to them, to try and keep money in the bank. Control, control, control. And they felt like super intimidated by your light, your sunshine, your wisdom, your beauty. Your beauty. So for some of you, you have a rare beauty that they were afraid someone else would see and steal from them. So they tried to make you feel small, tried to make you feel ugly, when really they never felt that way. Like, for some of you, you're like, did they ever even love me? Did they ever think I was beautiful? Yes, and they still do. They're a liar, they're abusive. For some of you, you're the most beautiful thing they've ever seen, and they were afraid of that. It's like the cruel man that wants to cover his woman completely in whatever and hide her in a back room so that nobody else can ever see how beautiful she is and take her away from him. For some of you, if that's a family member, that is really creepy, and I am sorry that you ever had to deal with that. I wasn't raised on spiritualism or tarot cards or any of that. I was raised in a fundamentalist Zionist cult. It was very patriarchal. It was very spiritually debilitating for somebody like me. So it could be something like that, where you are realizing that It's all part of the machine to keep you in line, to keep you in the cave, to keep you from following your own advice, to keep you from following your intuition. Okay, but all of that is in the past. So if you are trying to find answers at the very core, it is this person is hurt and they have all these tacks around them, and that was never going to change. And it was never us together as a family, us as a team. Like, you may have all been wearing, family t-shirts at the reunion, but it was never really that. It was this person against the world, including his family, including his kids, including his lover, whatever it is. And it has nothing to do with how hard you did or didn't work. You did the best you can. You did the best you can, which is why it's time. You've regained your power, and if you don't feel powerful yet, it's just because you're exhausted and you need a little rest. How are you going to do that? Oh. Oh. For one of you, you've kind of got embroiled in, I don't want to say a rebound, or like a drunk kiss turned into a drunk night, and that turned into something, and you need to undo that tie. You need to cut that cord, because this person and you were never really meant to be together. And this person is connected to someone else. They didn't necessarily tell you that. And if you keep going with whatever just happened that was really just exciting, drunk night at a bar, something like that, the advice would be let that go. You don't want to be a part of that particularly messy love triangle. It would be a purgatory, and you are moving forward. Remember, moving forward. 8 of Wands in reverse, that's going to hold you back. It's almost like the universe is like, did you learn your lesson yet? You do have a soulmate. You do have true love. But it's nothing that feels confusing or messy. Okay, if that's a clue for some of you. If it feels confusing or messy, that's a clue to get rid of that. Okay, who to trust, who not to trust? Huh. Okay, so stonemason on the wall. Wow. Okay. So whoever you're dealing with has like a soldier mentality. Maybe, like I was saying, a father who was a could be career politician, that came from the military. They moved military, career politician, vice versa. But they're literally playing everyone. And if this is a lover and they have someone else they're seeing, they're playing them too. It's them versus the world in every which way, shape, or form. The person that is coming in, real estate, carpentry, decorating, an eye for creating beautiful living spaces, strong connection to stones, jewelry, etc. Is this just you being indulgent and spoiling yourself, or is this someone else coming in? The Hanged Man in reverse, this is you. Who can you trust? Yourself. Who can you trust? Your credit card. Who can you trust? Your exquisite taste in creating a beautiful environment for someone who has clawed their way, kicking and screaming, out of a cave that was trying to keep them there. This is beautiful. Goddamn, I'm proud of you, whoever you are, Scorpio. And if it means you're by yourself right now and you have to build your world, your castle, your home with your own 2 hands, goddammit, you can do it. The ball is in your court here. Okay, so you're in control. Stay in control. Don't give it away for someone who is very overburdening to your spirit, someone who tries to overpower you, maybe even sexually, someone who's trying to keep you in a sadomasochistic relationship, or that was the past. Stay away from all relationships like that. I mean, I understand that some people are trying to work out traumas here and there, but the ones that come out on top in that situation are, the tops, the S, not the M. So you're just going to steer clear of any relationships or dynamics, family wise, friendship wise, work wise, that could veer into an S&M relationship, and then whether it starts in the bed or not, carry over to real life. And before you know it, you let the wrong one in. Okay, so you can't trust that person, that uncle, that father, that ex, that patriarchal society. It knows how beautiful you are. It's trying to make you feel small and ugly, so you'll stay there in that place. And if there was any part of you that needed to feel like a martyr, you don't need to feel that way anymore. So it's going to feel really good for you to step away from carrying the world on your shoulders and getting back into your creative power as a creative God. If you're in a third party situation or a love triangle, you're realizing that you need kind of a king and a queen position so that you can co-create your world. You add another person into that and it starts to get out of whack and fly out into the outer reaches of space. And at this point, you need clarity, you need balance, you need freedom, you need luxury, and you need all the gifts from the universe that they want to send you. But it's outside of trying to figure out this person. It's outside of trying to understand why they would just switch it up on you like that. And if they were dealing with the dark arts, hold on, what's this? Storm. King of Wands and Reverse and Storm. For some of you, it's a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries male that you really trusted that you shouldn't have trusted. They were secretly into some dark things, and they were kind of trying to mind control you. They were kind of trying to turn you into either a sexual slave or just a literal puppet. How do you know someone was trying to do that to you? Well, at the very basic beginning, they try to train you like a dog. Like, really, if you're dating someone new and they're trying to change your schedule to match their schedule, like seemingly meaninglessly, like you normally eat at 6, but they're going to have you wait until 8 o'clock until they're ready to eat. They're trying to establish some sort of a ridiculous alpha male thing. It's literally the same way you would kind of train a dog, train you to sleep at their schedule. You like to go to sleep at 3 in the morning. They want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. You're going to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Okay, that's a clue for somebody. That's a clue for somebody. It's almost like you look back on it and you're like, why were they so weird about, times that I eat, what I dressed like, when I spent money, who I talked to. It's almost like they were trying to train you to be submissive in every way in your life. And the end to, the means to the end is having a kind of controllable puppet. Like their own version of a living, breathing Stepford wife. So this person was not right in the head. And if this was a family member, and this was a father or an uncle, and you could be a man too. I mean, this kind of abuse happens, and men have almost a harder time talking about it because it's less socially acceptable to say, especially if you're in a male-on-male relationship, I'm being abused. or in a female on male relationship and you're being abused, or female on female relationship and you're being abused and you feel like you can't go to your family for whatever reason, or that is your family, and instead of saying this is just how the family is, you're moving away from that. Okay, so it's like your guardian angels have presented a situation to you where it's like you could stay in the situation. You could choose that path in the choose your own adventure. But that narcissist is never going to stop being a narcissist, and they're never going to clue you in on how manipulative they have been to keep you confused, to gaslight you, to take your power, to make you think that you're so much less beautiful than you really are because of their own insecurities, because they know you deserve better, even if it is a family member. A narcissist is never going to admit that they were wrong about something. So if the thing that's keeping you from moving on and making that change is hoping that one day they're going to say, I was wrong for that, or I shouldn't have done that. No, it'll always go in circles back to, well, you deserved it because this and this, or you are too this and this. It doesn't matter. I don't even want to finish that sentence because it's garbage. Okay? So you're releasing all the negative energy that doesn't belong to you. If you have to say that out loud, say it with me right now, please and thank you. S'il vous plaît. I release all negative energy that doesn't belong to me. I forgive and I move on. But if you choose the path of staying with this person, it's always going to be they're the main character and everyone else is a playable chess piece on their board of life. Your life doesn't matter. Your dreams don't matter. Okay, so if you have been at the kind of end of some black magic manipulation, it couldn't hurt to keep your area cleansed, your aura cleansed, lots of sage, candles, and kind of an exclamation to the world. My mind is my own. My thoughts are my own. My body is my own. My willpower is my own. My abundance is my own. My creativity is my own. My freedom is my own. And my peace is my own. And at that part, you walk away. And you don't look back. And that which wants to dwell in the cave can stay in the cave. Because your time to blossom truly is here, and the baby step to jump that road, the baby step to choose that chapter of the Choose Your Own Adventure, is allowing luxury into your life this week without shame or guilt. You were given exquisite taste because it's refined, because you're an old soul. You have a refined taste for a reason. And not everybody in your posse can come along with you out of that cave or to enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is silk. This is fresh flowers. This is reminding yourself that you are beautiful and life is beautiful and your wisdom is beautiful. And anything that really belongs to you can never be taken away from you. The ball is in your court. You're in control. Stay in control. And you'll be able to just really enjoy life. Just really enjoy life again. You deserve it. You are beautiful. You belong in beauty. You don't belong in the gutter. Okay. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. It's getting hotter than heck in here. So maybe that's a clue that this was kind of a toxic relation, like a bad romance Lady Gaga kind of song. No more bad romance. You can do bad by yourself. You're going to find new life, regeneration, a whole new relationship that it's like this person's going to make you forget that you ever were crying over this other guy or girl or whatever, or a family. You'll fall in love and be accepted into a family that's actually loving and accepting, and it's going to be that much easier to walk out of the cave or to go no contact if you haven't yet. But the ball's in your court. You've earned this. No guilt, no shame. Opulence, luxury, comfort, protection. That comes with the courage to walk out into the sun again. All right, Scorpio, I'm proud of you. If this is a collective, I'm proud of you all. If not, big kiss on the forehead to you. This is really beautiful. It's no small thing. See you for the next one, okay, Scorpio? I'm Walker. This is Dance Walker Tarot. Thanks for listening. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.